played as a team, and a bunch of people played really well, and it ended up working out well for me. But thanks to the other guys, they made it happen.
Donovan, same question. You were able to put pressure on UMass throughout the game, and it seemed to really make a difference. What was the difference, say, just the way your defense played against UMass?
What I think made the huge difference was we really looked at each other before the game, and we just told each other that we need to set our jaws and get our crazy eyes going and stay focused on every play. And once we get the call, tell ourselves what our job is and only focus on our 1/11th and complete that.
I do have to ask you about the touchdown in the first quarter that UMass was able to get. What happened on that play? We just saw it seemed like an odd play. They were able to pull that pass play.
Yeah, so, we were set up wrong. I was on the boundary side, and then we ended up switching it to the field side. But it all comes down to getting our minds right and focusing on the play and knowing what our job is and getting the calls from the safety and trusting them and being able to relay that to each other. So our eyes weren't right. They got that dump-off pass, but kudos to them for, picking up on that, and that was a good play.
Jacob, just how does it mean for the team to get a solid win at this point in the season after a tough stretch, just getting a solid win today?
Means a lot. We've been working hard nonstop all season, and to not see it pay off the last couple of weeks has been frustrating. And to finally get a win is going to really help us get through the rest of the season and be prepared for next week now.
Donovan, maybe just ask you about the offense really played well today, was converting on their drives. What is it like for your defense when you see the offense being able to convert on their drives?
Oh yeah, so it's great seeing our offense convert. Run the clock down. That's what defense always wants. It helps us get a little break and some good rest if we're pretty tired, and it also helps us focus in and talk to the coaches about the game plan and being able to adjust that.
Any more questions for Donovan or Jake? All right, you two could go, and then we'll open it up for Sandon and Jabari.
Bye, sir.
Thank you, guys.
Questions?
Hey, to start with Jabari, when did you learn that you would be starting today, and how did it feel to go out and start this game?
Found out basically the start of the game. Wasn't quite sure if I would be starting because K-Op's been practicing all week and he's healthy.
Okay, maybe just ask Sandon. Really big day for you. 3 touchdowns, converting on the key plays in the red zone. How did it feel on those 3 plays early in the game?
It felt good. It wasn't really just a really big day for me. It was a big day for the whole offense. They created my O-line. Starting with my O-line, they created the holes, and I just filled them. I told them I had their back, and we get in the end zone, get off the field. So that's what we did today.
Okay, Jabari, you really electrified the crowd in the second half with your. On that first play of that drive when you went the length of the field. I think it was 83 yards. Tell us about what you were seeing and what you think when you see those holes open up and the blocks emerge.
Yeah, the O-line, they got a great push on the D-line, and KJ and Mike Robb, they were able to get great blocks on the perimeter, allowing me, basically escorting me to the end zone.
I just asked Sandon, obviously the offensive line has had changes this year. You've had injuries, new players in there. Tell us about how the offensive line worked today, generated nearly 500 yards of rushing.
I think they worked great today. Like you said, we changed a lot of personnel, and I think that's for the best. We sub a lot of people in, and I think that's what made us, rush for however many yards we rushed for today. So whatever we're doing it. We need to keep doing it.
Yeah, I think the stats say 498, which is remarkable. Jabari, just tell us a little bit about the early drives. You had Kel Walker was making some really good runs for you. Just tell us about how you were able to set the tone offensively early in the game.
Yeah, it started up front with the offensive line, and the P-backs were doing what they were doing, and slot backs, they were doing great. So I think everybody working together as a whole, and we're taking care of the fundamentals. They really helped us in the beginning.
Okay, and again, you got a few pass plays in, but you were running it. How did it feel mixing the offense up today?
It felt great. Look forward to doing this in the future, and everybody, just the whole team did a great job today. I'm just honored and blessed.
Any more questions for these guys? John, go ahead.
Just what it's like to finally break a losing streak.
You know, it feels good. It feels a lot better. It gets us back on the right page of Army football. You know, builds confidence. I feel like, you know, what's going around, like as far as the fans goes, the core goes, I think we have their trust again, and it feels good internally for the team. And we also know that we still know we can get better, and there's stuff that we can do better. So we just, you know, come back next week and do it again and ready to practice so we can get better.
Any more questions, guys?
Buddy.
Gosh, what do you say? Just it feels good to be in here after a victory. We've had so many close, agonizing defeats this year, and we were so desperate to get a win, and just really proud of our team, how they've continued to practice and prepare, and I think the way they prepared for this game, and then executed. We had the one big play against us on defense. They did a nice job setting that up and hit the reverse flea flicker and well-designed play, and we just came out of coverage. But really, other than that, I thought our defense did a good job. They gave up a couple plays on third downs. They hit a couple RPO throws over the middle, but we did a great job stopping the run, which is, I think if you're going to play good defense, that's where it's got to start. And then offensively, obviously we ran the ball pretty effectively, and we were able to control the clock and control the ball and score touchdowns. And we had a couple times we had to punt, and disappointed that we had to stall out on those drives and were forced to punt. But just proud of the guys, and they've stayed resilient, and I think that's certainly a positive and something that we can use as a source of pride. So really respect the UMass team. I know, in talking to Coach Bell before the game, he told me that they were down to fewer than 50 scholarship players, and I think starting 9 freshmen. So that's not an easy task, and just give them credit. They continue to play and battled all the way to the last play of the game, and they got some athletes over there. We got to play them again next year. So I know those guys being a year older and more experienced, it's going to be a test for us a year from now. So glad to get this win and move on to the next one.
Questions? Kevin?
Coach, just maybe start with the play of your quarterback, Jabari Laws. When did you decide that he would be the starter, and how did you feel he played, and how the offensive line played today?
I thought Jabari did a good job, and we really intended to use both quarterbacks going into the game today. Jabari is a little healthier than Kelvin. Kelvin is neither one of them are completely healthy, 100%. And I guess it's probably at this point in the season really, really hard to be 100% healthy for anybody that plays college football. But we wanted to use both of them in hopes that both of them could get through the game. And it worked out. We were able to do that. We just felt like Jabari, the way he's played, and his health and his ability to run the offense was the right way to start the football game. So that's kind of how we came to that decision.
And you're certainly moving around the offensive line over the last couple of weeks. Did you feel like you were able to get more consistent play today up front?
We started the same offensive line this week as we did a week ago, and that may be the only time this season that we've done that. Now, the offensive line that we started, 4 of those guys got their very first start of their college career last week and got the second start of their college career this week. So, we obviously, not seeing guys like J.B. Hunter and Noah Utley and Peyton Reeder. Those are guys that have been pretty consistent on the offensive line, and they were injured. So hopefully we're going to get them back healthy again. We'd certainly like to get those guys back. But it's good to get some of these guys some experience, and the more they play, the better they're gonna get.
And on defense, you were putting more pressure on the UMass quarterback today. How did you feel they did with that, and also stopping the run?
We did. We got to him a few times, which was good, and I thought the defensive line did a good job. You know, that's not something that here we've done. You know, we're not leading the country in sacks. We've never been that kind of a team, but we've been able to get some pressure on the quarterback to make him throw it on time, or to make him just get rid of it in a hurry. And we weren't doing that as well consistently as I would have liked to. We actually, you know, if you just kind of keep track of being on pace, we were on pace to sack quarterbacks more this year than we did a year ago. But I just don't know we were getting as many hurries and as many pressures. And I thought our guys did a good job with that today. But as I said in the opening statement, stopping the run is where we build our defense, and I think that's where all successful defenses are built, is being a good run defense first, and I was proud to see our guys do a good job with that.
And, Coach, you had a lot of productivity today out of your fullback, Santa McCoy, the 3 touchdowns early, and then Connor Slomka had one. And then Kel Walker had a lot of contributions in your first couple of drives, 60 yards. How did you feel like your running game progressed? Obviously a big number, but it was a big build from last week.
We were doing a lot of different things. We got the ball on the perimeter today pretty effectively, and they were playing man and running the backside safety across. And that was a couple of times he got to us, but we did a good job of giving him some misdirection and being able to get the ball out there and get him leveraged. I thought the fullbacks ran really hard. It was good to see a number of those guys play. We had the one fumble. It was an option play where it's a read play, and we didn't do a very good job of the exchange. And I always hate to see a ball on the ground, and it's agonizing to see the team in the other color jersey get a ball that we turn over and fumble to them. And it wasn't a contact fumble. It was just an exchange fumble. So obviously those need to be completely eliminated. But pleased with the way our guys ran the ball, for sure.
And on defense, you had a couple of interceptions. Always good when you're generating turnovers. Ryan Velez had an interception, and Elijah Riley. How did those plays emerge that they were able to make those plays?
The one that Ryan had, the guy got flushed. He got in a little trouble, and he was just trying to throw it up and make a play, and probably wasn't a great decision on that young man's part to do that. I'm sure Walt's probably talked to him about that right after it was done. On the other play, it was I believe it was a 4th down call, and Elijah just was in really good position, and he tried to push the ball in there to his receiver, and Elijah was in between the ball and the receiver and was able to step right in front of it. So, obviously getting a turnover is a big play. He stopped the drive, and the one for Velez set up a score for us.
And Coach,
Game skid. I mean, how difficult has that been over the last 5 weeks?
I'm sorry. Repeat.
Just elaborate a little more on what it's like to break the 5-game losing streak.
Well, we didn't want to make it 5 games. One was one too many, but it's hard when you're going through something like that. And here, we've become accustomed to winning a lot and winning close games. And in that stretch, we just lost a lot of close games. We haven't found a way to win those. Tulane beat us by 9, and really it was a 1-score game. We were going for 2 to try to get ourselves in position to win it in regulation. Western Kentucky beat us by 9, but we went to Georgia State and lost by a touchdown, and lost to San Jose State here within a touchdown, and lost last week obviously in a close game. So they're hard. It's tough on the confidence of a team, just the emotions of losing, and then losing again and again. it's been a tough stretch. But as I said, our players have continued to work and practice hard, and we haven't performed as well as I would have liked to us have performed, and maybe not as well as we're capable of performing during that stretch. And that's what's disappointing. There are a lot of things in that stretch that we probably could have changed our fortunes just with better execution and things that we can control. We talked about the turnovers. In a couple of those games, if we eliminate a fumble, we might win the game. That's how close it is. Last week, it's literally a game of inches, 4 inches from the goal line in the opening drive, and their fourth down on our end, they made it just by, I don't know if it was 4 inches. It is a game of inches, and it's hard. But our guys haven't quit, and they are fighters, and just this week in practice, I think our guys had a great temperament and demeanor and a sense of purpose, and played that way today. So I was proud of them.
Coach, just going to ask, in a game like this, you're able to get a lot of your younger players in the game. Walters was back in, had a catch. Jamil Jones played quarterback for the last drive. Who are some of the young players that you felt good about how they performed and they got on the field today?
I thought Jacoby Buchanan ran the ball really well. We got to see Anthony Atkins run the ball some. We put Brahim Murphy in. I don't know that he had a carry, but he got some experience. Just good for those guys to get in the game. This is all offensively. Connor Bishop got in the game. Cody Winokur got in the game. We played Trenton Hollenquist at wide receiver. We played Regan Donaldson at wide receiver. Chris Cameron played tight end some today. Defensively, there was a lot of guys that got a chance to play. Kamante Yao got probably the first significant reps on defense that he's had in his career at linebacker. But at the end of the game, I saw guys like Tyler Komorowski and Cole Mabry and those guys trotting into the game, and it's just good for them to get that experience. I thought Marquell Broughton played well, and it's been fun to watch him improve this season. He's just really a confident young player who's, I think, going to really improve. So he and Jabari Moore are two freshmen that are playing significant snaps, along with Malcolm Morrison, who's a sophomore. So that there's some young guys in there that it's encouraging to see them not only be in the game but make some plays, and that builds their confidence.
One more, Coach. Veterans Day, you had a very gracious, thoughtful comment to CBS Sports, I heard. How do you feel about how this team represents the U.S. Army and all the veterans who will enjoy watching the team play?
Well, I'm proud of our players and the commitment that they've made to serve our nation, as I am our entire Corps Cadets, the young men and women who have taken that pledge to essentially put their lives on the line for the freedoms of all of us that enjoy that freedom. And there's a few people that like them that I think in every family, every community, every school, and there's just some select folks that decide they want to do that and take that on and serve and be part of something really special, something much bigger than themselves, something that oftentimes is a thankless job. And I think in our nation, we're really good about recognizing our men and women who serve and showing appreciation for those that serve. But I can assure you, when they're out there hunkered in some foxhole or in the middle of nowhere staring at the enemy face to face, and we're sleeping soundly in our beds, there's nobody there thanking them. And they do that proudly. They do that voluntarily, which just is amazing to me, that we've got people that feel that sense of service and love for country. And so I'm really proud of our young men and women here who've taken that pledge. Thankful to all of our men and women who serve, their families who sacrifice so much, and you know, they have loved ones in their families that are going out and doing those jobs, and that it can't be easy to be a family member, knowing that your loved one may be in harm's way, and to wear the colors of the United States Army and to be able to represent all those men and women and their families who serve in the Army uniform is just an incredible honor and a privilege. And so Veterans Day is just a day for all of us to pause and recognize those that serve. But you know, every day at West Point and every day in the United States Army and every day in all of our branches of service, you know, it's Veterans Day. They're out there doing that job every day. So incredibly proud to represent the United States Army and certainly to win. And I think the expectation, as I heard General Caslin, our former superintendent, say so many times, when the American people put boots on the ground and the United States Army goes to do their job, the expectation is that they're going to win. And I don't think there's an American who expects anything less of our Army and our military. When we go take on an enemy, the expectation is we're going to win, and we enjoy that freedom, and we live freely, and we really, without worry, go about our day, and it's because of those men and women. So that's important for us to represent them in the same way. And when an Army football team takes the field, the expectation is we're going to win. And so I'm glad we're able to do that today. I'd like to do that every single time we play. And that's what's special about this program and this place, is that every time we win, we're representing over 1 million men and women who serve in the Army. Sorry for the long-winded answer.